took a zoo, but the animals got out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe. Monsters.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the first 2 episodes of the brand new TV show Alien Earth. It's streaming on Disney Plus and it stars Sidney Chandler, Alex Lawther, Ezzie Davis, Samuel Blenkin and Timothy Oliphant. Right, this is set, let me try and get the timeline right here. This is set before Alien, and I think it's set before Alien Romulus as well. And we meet, well, initially we are on board a spaceship that is returning to Earth. This spaceship has been collecting specimens from all over the galaxy, basically, and it's on its way back to Earth. On Earth, there is a young girl who is obviously ill, and she's having her consciousness transferred to an artificial body. And that artificial body is called Wendy, played by Sidney Chandler. This ship crash lands on Earth, and it's got all these nasty little species on there, but of course it's got the fated xenomorph as well. So it crash lands in a big city. The rescue services are dispatched, and one of those who is dispatched to help is a medic, Hemmett, played by Alex Lawther, who is the brother of Wendy. However, he thinks Wendy's dead, but she's been following his progress, following him remotely. She knows that he's gone to this downed ship, and she essentially proposes to her superiors that her and the others like her go and assist. Everybody gets to this ship, and lo and behold, they all start getting hunted down by the xenomorph, as well as these other nasty little things as well. And that is really what happens in the first 2 episodes, really. It's quite a lot of setup, introduction of characters, that kind of stuff. World building, it's not just one corporation that we've kind of got used to over the years that is running the show. There's like 4 big corporations, something like that, and they kind of run their side of things and the others run their side of things, but they're always in conflict, but they kind of have uneasy truces, I suppose. And the one that we get most interactions with is the one that's run by Samuel Blenkin's character, who is like this young genius, this ultra-rich young man who has kind of evolved artificial intelligence and technology and created these synthetic bodies where you can transfer the mind of a child into it. He hasn't figured out how to do that for adults yet. So this ship crash lands in his district, basically. So he's determined to have whatever is inside that ship. But obviously, the other corporation who sent this ship is our old friends that we've met in the other films. And they are definitely wanting back their cargo. So I'm not actually sure how many episodes this is going to be. I suspect it's going to be around 8 to 10 episodes. The first 2 episodes set it up really, really well. There's some very, very creepy stuff that go on in the episodes. We get to see the alien, the xenomorph, just enough. It looks terrifying as usual. They've made it terrifying. Much like Alien Romulus, which I know divided a lot of people, but I actually really quite enjoyed. It made the xenomorph scary again, and this is making the alien scary again. But it's got some competition, because some of these other life forms that we meet that have been specimens that have been caged and been brought back to Earth, some of them look properly nasty. There's one that just looks like an eyeball that looks really horrific and creepy, and you just don't want anything to do with it. So while there hasn't been a lot of answers given here, which is not really what you would expect at this stage. It's kind of giving us lots of questions. There is somebody who is still on the ship as it crash land. I mean, the rest of the crew is dead. I hope there's like a flashback episode where it shows us what's gone on the ship. And then there is, who I suspect, well, he is a synthetic, who has kind of orchestrated everything. Not particularly well, because the ship has crashed in the wrong district. But he has kind of quite a sinister character, so I'm not really sure exactly how that's going to develop. I thought the performances here have all been really, really good. The world building so far has been good. I've definitely been impressed with Sydney Chandler, who plays Wendy. Well, she's childlike, really, because essentially she is a child, because she was a child when her consciousness was transferred into Wendy. So it's a child's consciousness transferred into like an adult synthetic body. So she kind of still behaves like a child in many, many ways, as do some of the others, which is my only real critique of it so far, is a sense of why would this trillionaire genius agree to send his priceless synthetics into an unknown situation? I mean, he argues that, it's like Christmas for him because of all the data that he's getting from it, putting him in this scenario. But as Aid Edmondson points out, and he's in this show, he's like his number 2, I suppose. What if we lose one of them? The priceless. Which inevitably is going to happen, you know what I mean, with all these sinister stuff that's happening in this ship. The trailer suggests that obviously it's not just going to be in this ship stroke tower block building where it's crashed into. The trailer suggests it's going to expand out further into the world, so I'm definitely interested where this is going to go. I'm enjoying the show so far. I'm enjoying the characters. I think the effects are very, very good. It's kind of what I expected. I wasn't sure if they were going to kind of just be one alien or a few aliens or like a swarm of them like in Aliens, but it is in actual fact, at the minute anyway, just one alien, but there's plenty of facehuggers around, so there could be potential for more. How it's going to play out in a sense of how it's going to kind of fit into the timeline of the other movies is interesting to me, I've seen like interviews with the creator Noah Hawley, who has kind of said, after a couple of seasons sort of thing, it might kind of lead directly to the events of Alien then, which is interesting, because it was a new species to us in Alien. So whatever happens in this show, obviously, by the end of the episodes, this season or seasons, how is it kind of going to be that they kind of cover it all up? So I'm interested. It's raising a lot of questions, which is good, I think, for a show. If it spiked your interest, it's got you raising questions in your head, and you're excited to see more, then it's doing something right. And this show is doing something right. Maybe it's going to wind up some purists because it seems to be ignoring Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Which, fair enough. I mean, I don't dislike those films massively or anything. I mean, I've reviewed all the Alien films on the channel, and I like them all to varying degrees. It's just a choice. The kind of putting those films, I think, to one side and starting a little bit fresh. So maybe there's some purists out there that won't like what they've done with the show. I think it's pretty good so far. Let's see how it turns out. Hopefully it will continue to be good. Everybody expected, I think, this to be terrible. It's Disney at the end of the day, since they've taken over the Alien and Predator franchise. So far, so good, really. They are respecting the franchises and allowing those making content on the franchises to kind of spread their creative wings without too much interference, it would seem. So long may that continue. If they start turning the franchises into or oversaturating them with utter bollocks, then I would lose interest very, very quickly. But at the minute, that's not happening, and long may that continue. So yeah, if you get the chance to check out Alien Earth, especially if you're a fan of the franchise, give it a go. And I will, of course, be back with plenty more content on the channel very, very soon.